21-year-old Elisa Lam. The tourist from Vancouver, Canada, came to Los Angeles January 26th. She checked in at the Cecil Hotel. Surveillance video from the hotel's elevators show her acting unusual, as if she's hiding from someone. Then Lam disappeared January 31st.
Some stories leave you with more questions than answers. And the case of Elisa Lam is one of the most haunting examples of that. A young traveler disappears inside a hotel known for its dark, tragic, and almost cursed history. And the only clue is a strange, unsettling elevator video that millions have seen but no one has ever fully understood. Even today, more than a decade later, people still debate what was real, what was imagined, and what truly happened inside that building. So today we'll walk through the mystery step by step, from her arrival at the hotel, to her disappearance, the viral video, and the discovery that shocked the world. A discovery that still doesn't sit right with many people. Who was Elisa Lam? Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student from Vancouver. She was smart, introspective, and deeply expressive. She loved writing, reading, photography, and documenting her life online through Tumblr posts that mixed personal reflections, poetry, and humor. She struggled at times with her mental health, something she openly discussed, not with shame, but with honesty.
You know, in 22 years plus of doing this job as a news reporter, this is one of the cases that kind of sticks with me, because we know the who, what, when, where, but the why is always the question.
In early 2013, Elisa wanted a break, something fresh, something to help her reconnect with herself. So she planned a solo trip to California, traveling by train and bus to coastal cities like San Diego, Santa Cruz, and Los Angeles. Her posts from that trip were upbeat and curious. Nothing hinted at the nightmare that was waiting just days ahead. The Cecil Hotel. On January 28, 2013, Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. To outsiders, it was just a cheap place for travelers on a budget, close to public transportation, reasonably priced, and easy to book. But what Elisa didn't fully know was that the Cecil Hotel had a deeply troubled past. Over the decades, the building had become infamous for crime, overdoses, suicides, and violent incidents. It was located near Skid Row, an area with high levels of homelessness, drug activity, and street crime. Security was inconsistent, elevators malfunctioned frequently, and hallways were notorious for strange encounters. To Elisa, however, it was simply another stop on her journey. The disappearance. Elisa maintained almost daily contact with her parents, so when her messages suddenly stopped, they knew something was wrong. On January 31st, when she was supposed to check out and head to Santa Cruz and didn't, her parents immediately contacted the Los Angeles Police Department. Soon, officers arrived at the Cecil Hotel. They searched hallways, common areas, and her room. They investigated leads, questioned guests, and tried to trace her movements. But they didn't have enough evidence for a full search of the entire building, especially restricted areas like the roof. Days passed, no sightings, no clues. The case stalled. Then detectives reviewed the hotel's security cameras. What they found changed everything. The elevator video. Released to the public on February 13, the elevator video became one of the most analyzed pieces of footage the internet has ever seen. In the video, Elisa steps into the elevator casually at first. She presses multiple buttons, then waits. But something is strange. The elevator doors don't close. She peeks out into the hallway, suddenly hiding in a corner, then stepping out, re-entering, and pressing more buttons. Her movements become increasingly frantic, almost surreal. At one point, she steps completely outside the elevator and begins gesturing with her hands. Slow, sweeping motions, as if she's talking to someone or trying to feel something that isn't there. Her body language switches between confusion, fear, curiosity, and something harder to define. Then she walks away and the elevator suddenly begins working again.
Yeah, I think there were two possibilities that a lot of folks were looking at when Elisa's body was found in the water tank, and one of them was suicide and one of them was murder. And, you know, the coroner's conclusion was that neither was the case.
People immediately flooded the internet with theories. The video felt eerie, unnatural, and deeply disturbing. And the fact that police released it publicly meant they were desperate for help. But instead of answers, the video only created more mystery, the discovery. Weeks passed, Guests at the hotel began complaining about strange water problems, low pressure, weird taste, discolored water. A maintenance worker climbed to the roof to check the 4 large water tanks that supplied the building. When he opened the hatch of one tank, he saw something floating. It was Elisa Lam. Her body was recovered from the tank, which was nearly full, cold, dark, difficult to access, and tightly sealed. The questions multiplied. How did she get onto the roof? How did she climb the tank without equipment? How did she open the heavy lid alone? And how did nobody notice?
There was something wrong. The pressure in the water was terrible. The shower was awful. It made me feel really sick yesterday and until now, knowing that we've been drinking this water for 8 days.
The discovery stunned the world. The investigation. The autopsy revealed no signs of assault, injury, or physical trauma. No drugs or alcohol at harmful levels. It ruled her death an accidental drowning, potentially influenced by her mental health condition. But the official report didn't settle the case. It deepened it. To access the roof, Elisa would have had to reach a locked door with an alarm system. The only other route was a fire escape, which required climbing outside the building. The tank itself was tall and smooth with no easy grip. Climbing it alone would require significant effort, especially at night. The investigation concluded she had entered the tank voluntarily during a moment of disorientation, but many people found that explanation incomplete. There were too many unanswered questions. Why did the elevator behave that way? Why didn't police search the roof earlier? How did none of the hotel's security systems detect her?
The hotel, sort of wasn't entirely up to, standards at the time, and I think it was sort of a hotel for down and out people and maybe for European tourists who didn't know better. And it's possible that all their security cameras weren't working, or that maybe they didn't even have security cameras in most places where we would think they should be.
Theories and public reaction. Online communities exploded with speculation. Some theories were extreme, others more grounded. Mental health crisis, supported by medication levels noted in the autopsy. Hotel negligence, suggesting poor security allowed danger. Accidental fall, through the fire escape and into the tank. Possible foul play due to inconsistencies and missing information. Paranormal theories tied to the hotel's dark history. None were ever proven. In the end, the official explanation was accidental drowning caused by disorientation. Stories like this remind us how fragile the line is between the known and the unknown, and how sometimes, even when the facts are laid out, the truth can still feel incomplete. If stories like this fascinate you, stay with the channel. We cover cases that challenge what we think we know and push us to look deeper. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos on YouTube.